Nailed it.
Hey, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
We are Nailed It the Podcast. Special episode today. Jake and I are going to talk about our favorite band in the world at the moment, Beartooth.
At the moment, I don't know if that's ever going to change.
That's true, but we seem to talk about them every episode. So why is it a special episode? Because we're going to review their new album, The Surface. That's specifically what we're here for today. The album came out just shy of 2 weeks ago now, so we've had a little time to sit on it and decide what we think. We got, real quickly, we got, 11 tracks on here. We had already heard 5 of them.
Prior to the album release.
Prior to the album release, they had released 5 singles over the last year and a half or so. So we've got some stuff to talk about that we've probably covered in this podcast. Some songs.
Numerous times.
But we've also got some new stuff to talk about. So let's get into what we're going to talk here about. Should we just jump into the first track right off the bat?
Yeah, might as well.
Go ahead. Let me tell you. Let's hear what you had to say about the first track, which is titled "The Surface." It is the title track.
So, my first impression of this was in general, this entire thing, my initial impression was I fucking love this.
Of course.
But when I heard this first track with that opening riff, I was already like, all right, we've got a super technical riff right off the bat, and it gave me almost a Limp Bizkit-y style like feel in the very beginning, where you had that riff with just kind of Caleb talking over the riff a little bit. Gave me that kind of Fred Durst, Wes Borland kind of feel, but then it jumped into what I would consider classic Beartooth, and I was in love with it from the very beginning. The call and response in the verse, like in both the first and second verse, I'm a big fan of call and response in songs.
As am I. I
like
that type of writing. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I heard this and I was like, this is amazing. I was in love with it from the get go. But what was your initial thought when you heard this?
Well, here's a funny little anecdote to this. When I first heard it, I loved it right away because I immediately felt like we were getting that Beartooth feel, which I will get into. I'll get into, but there's a lot of stuff on this album as we'll go into, and I'll just dissect tracks as we go, but stuff that's them moving on to other things. This track in particular felt like, okay, he still knows what he's doing, which I never doubted.
Oh, yeah.
The funny anecdote here is that when I got to listen to the album, I had not yet received my physical CD, which I like to get. So I went right to Spotify and pulled it up, and I misread the track listings because it's the title track. I thought the second track, Riptide, was the first track.
Okay.
I skipped all the way up past all the songs we already heard.
Oh.
And I got to the end and I went to let it replay. I'm like, what song is this? I'm like, oh my God, I missed one. And so I had actually listened to the rest of the album before I listened to that track because I just was in such a hurry that morning to listen to the album and get to the new stuff that I missed it completely. So, but I really, this is maybe of the 6 songs on this album that we weren't able to hear before the release, this is probably my favorite song because this song, of those songs, I think feels more like Beartooth.
Okay, I can understand that. I'll get to like my I'm trying to think my point of view with those 6 songs that we hadn't heard yet.
And we'll there's a way I'd like to, when we get to the end, there's a way of putting them together I'd like to go over. But
yeah.
But overall, I think as an opening track, good riffs, good hooks. Like you said, it vocally he's doing the things he does that we both like so much, I personally like so much. So it definitely is a great way to open an album that we've been waiting a long time for.
Yeah, and we've been waiting 2 years?
Since we knew it was coming, yeah. It's been 2 years since Below came out. And Riptide came out roughly a year and a half ago.
That's right. Okay.
So it's been a year and a half since they released Riptide, almost. I think maybe a year and 4 months.
Right.
Riptide came out in June, I believe, of 2021.
I think.
Because that's when, yeah.
We saw them in July
of 2022. Yeah, no, that would be right. That's right. We saw them. It was summer a year ago.
Yes, it was last summer
outside in Baltimore. So that single came out about a month and a half before that. So yeah, it'd be about almost a year and a half till the album came out.
Okay. Yep.
Because the
That
album
would
just
make
came
sense.
out.
Yep.
So we definitely had some wait time of them, knowing this album was coming and hearing tracks and going through that stuff. But we've definitely, it's here. We got it here, and that's what we're here to talk about.
That
So
damn time.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I could sit here. We could absolutely dissect each song musically if we wanted to and sonically. I don't think that's what we were here to do as much as talk about what we thought about the songs and
Yeah.
how I feel. I don't have anything overly jumping out about this song other than how good it feels, and it's a good one to crank it up and
Oh, absolutely.
get there. But it's not, certainly is it my favorite Beartooth song ever? No, but it is definitely one of my favorites on this album.
Okay. Yeah. I can
and
agree
title
with that.
tracks aren't always that way. Maybe that's my thing with Beartooth. It was with Disease.
Below is a great track.
Yeah, but it definitely holds its place in, of the songs in this album. It's definitely top 4 for me.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add on the surface?
I don't think so. Again, great Beartooth song to kick off the album.
Absolutely. And that's what we'd expect from them at this point.
Yeah.
With all our reservations about where the songs might go or his style might go, he put it right back in line what I, at least for me, what I expected. So
Yeah.
which puts us into Riptide, which we've already talked about, which is the second track. We have so much time, as we just discussed. We have a year and a half on this song.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We've had plenty of time.
Plenty of time to talk about it. We know what we like about it. Now that I've listened to the whole album, this is the Beartooth song, I think. I don't think there's a lot of him doing different stuff here. When I first heard it all that time ago, I was like, oh, this feels a little different. There's something a little different. I guess it was the writing and what he was going for, the feel.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I listen to this with everything else, I think this song is more Below or Disease style Beartooth than I previously realized till I heard all the other new stuff and the little directions he's doing with other, the other styles of stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
Also, I've listened to it probably 400% more than the other songs that's been out longer. I do think this is probably, if we're going to talk like a top 4, which we'll get to, I mean, this definitely is in the top 4 for me too as well.
Oh, absolutely. I remember the first time I heard it, I wasn't a gigantic fan of it from just first impressions, because I was like,
Interesting.
It was more, I don't get me wrong, I still liked it. There was never a song by Beartooth I have not liked.
Right.
But when I first heard it, I was like, it seems like they're getting kind of soft. More with the vocal style, because he is heavy.
Yeah.
Like riff wise, that song is heavy as shit. But I wasn't crazy over all the melodic singing, because I'm used to him going back and forth between, some more aggressive vocals.
And that's the stuff I think I keyed in on. I like to hear that growth vocally.
Oh, yeah.
And I was ready for it, I think.
Okay.
And there was a different opinion at first when I first heard it. But again, now taking it as a whole with everything else that's come out and now the whole album being out, that's everything I think he was trying to get to with this album.
Okay.
If he wanted to stay true to form and not step out of his bounds, which he did. He did step out of his boundaries quite a bit.
Yeah.
But this song, to me, overall, belongs in the, you need to hear a Beartooth song, you want to hear a pick from every album that you feel like is the same kind of stuff, this is going to probably end up on that list, or at least in the discussion.
I can agree with that. Like,
So.
if we were to make an ideal, Beartooth greatest hits, that would be on that
If they
list.
said pick 2 songs from every album, this is going to be one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's not to say there aren't other good songs on this album, as that's why we're here talking, but it definitely has a lot about what I believe is the Beartooth sound.
Yeah.
At least going forward, I think this might be I think we may have a point where we're going to look back and go, that's where he was going.
Yes.
As opposed to when we first heard it, oh, that's different. You know what I mean? Your impression of it first time was, oh, that's not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I think that's where he wants to be.
Well, like I said, when I first heard it, I wasn't insanely crazy over it. I still loved it, but I switched gears very quickly, because I think it was more like, let me give it a second chance, and let me give it a third chance. And every time I heard it, it grew on me a lot more to the point where I agree with you. It is what I would call the Beartooth song, or one of Beartooth's greatest hits.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I still listen to it just about every day. As I do with everything Beartooth. I
Right.
listen to them every day. But this, I think, was a fantastic single to release. Would have liked to have gotten the album sooner.
Yeah,
But you know,
we've discussed this before, probably off air, but that it just seemed like it was way, way, way too long between them releasing that single and putting the album out while they were on tour and everything else. Whereas they could have just waited to drop that single. We would have, in our lives, we're all used to a certain cycle of time. We got to wait for new music from a band.
right,
They're out touring on this album. You're not going to get a new song out of them.
right,
And there's some exceptions, not just Beartooth, but for the most part, you know that you have to wait.
yeah,
And they didn't. They're just like, oh, we're in the middle of Blow Tour. Here's a song. What? Oh, now you're going to wait a year and a half for another one.
yeah.
Well, not quite that long till we got Sunshine, but we're not quite there yet. So all in all, I mean, we both again enjoyed this track, and as objective as we can be, being Beartooth Uber fans, whatever we are. So
We were also at the first show they played Riptide live at.
right, yep. When we saw them in Baltimore with A Day to Remember, we definitely got to see that for the very first live performance.
That was so cool.
It was just cool to see that, and then as each new song came out, I can't wait to see that. And we're gonna get to, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So on to track 3, which is Doubt Me. Another one they released early, and we've talked about this. I felt like this song got buried because they just kept releasing songs.
Yeah.
This song got like 2 weeks where we were, another song, and then there was a new song after that. However, this, just like I said with Riptide, this is a Beartooth song.
Absolutely.
This is old school, like maybe for me might be the closest to their older stuff. Their pre-disease, maybe even pre-aggressive kind of feel. Like this is him being Caleb with the middle finger up at the world.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so good.
For me, this song is one of, like how you were saying about putting some of the top songs, like what would you say, like the top 5 songs of
Right.
this album. This song is up there for me. I heard this song and immediately fell in love with it because of how aggressive and how just in your face this song can be, depending on your mood and just listening in general.
Well, I can change your mood, which I like. I can be in a bad mood and it makes me feel better. I can be in a good mood and it just makes me feel pumped up. It just has that, like the best of their songs for me do, the aggressiveness of it. And I hate keep using that word because it seems like we're just throwing out Beartooth words because that's the name of their album. But I mean, that's the truth. There's an aggressive, raw feeling to their early stuff, and that's what this. Another song that reminds me on this album that he didn't forget where he started, no matter how much he wants to get to a certain place with his music.
Right.
And lyrically, this is following the same theme the entire album is. This entire album is following this theme of him getting his life better and back in order.
Oh, yeah.
There's no one track that's like, oh, that track's about the day he, drove his car to a ditch or something or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The day he did his laundry, whatever. This is all about this journey of his to get better himself and make his life better and his mental health better and so on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't be aggressive about it. You
Right.
can't be hard and fast and tons of riffage and just a hooky chorus. And I mean, don't ever fucking doubt me. Like, that's a line some guys would throw in once to get a point across. He made it part of the chorus.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, I mean, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. No, yeah, I this is top tier for this album, to the point where, in Mr. Melody number 2,
Oh boy.
we're actually going to quote that one of the lyrics from that song.
Is this could this be the Rope and the Stone lyric?
It is.
That is a favorite of mine. Too late for apologies.
Oh yeah, off recording. I'll tell you where it's gonna be in the book.
Yeah, don't give away the milk for free. But
I was discussing this with my older brother, who co-writes the book with me, and we came up with a portion in the book, and we're like, we need a cool line, and I dropped this lyric to him. I was like, this needs to be the lyric. I don't care. This is perfect.
Yeah, no, that's what the joys of being fans of things and creating things at the same time.
Yeah.
As long as you're using it in different mediums, you're fine. If you send me a song tomorrow and you've directly quoted Beartooth, that's called plagiarism. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
No, but that's how much these things have invaded themselves and become invasive into what we believe and think and what we think about when we're doing other things. And I love it. And that is by far not only the best line in this song, but one of the best on this album. We've talked about this before. I'm a big guy for lyrics. It can be one line, two line, a whole verse. If something's clever, or not just clever but well put together at just the right point, and I think that's one of the top things I love about Beartooth is he does that all the time lyrically.
Yeah.
Even say the weakest of Beartooth songs has something in it, whether it's a line or two words or whatever, something the way he pieces together the lines and the phrasing of the words just works. And
Right.
this is top notch. Like, that's not a thing that particular line I'm never gonna forget.
Oh yeah, no. I remember the first time listening to this song. I was actually at work, and a friend of mine who is a fan of Beartooth, I had told him, I was like, "Hey, did you hear the new Beartooth song?" And she was like, "No." So we put it on, and when it kicks in, we were both just sitting there, dumbfounded. We're like, "Oh my god!" And when he drops, I'm a big fan for oohs. Yeah, and he does that little like
I can't even do
and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
He like woofs.
Oh my! I lost it when I heard that, and just 10 out of 10. That song is so good. I love that song.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a high bar to set in certain aspects as far as I'm concerned, especially since, like I said earlier, they kind of buried it because they were pushing to get to other songs.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, I must look at my track listing. What's next here? The Better Me is the next track, which is not, they did not follow that up. They followed that up with Might Love Myself. Doubt Me, I believe Might Love Myself came out, didn't it? Am I wrong?
Let me refer.
I could be wrong, folks.
Let me refer to
Hot take, I could be wrong about something.
I need to go to YouTube.
Don't you play no videos on
I'm
our,
not
on
playing.
our feed.
I'm not playing a
You
video.
get us kicked off the internet. Copyright infringement. Why do you think we're not listening to the songs on the tracks and then we're reviewing them?
Yeah. So let's see.
What does the YouTube say?
It went Might Love Myself. Okay, yeah, it was Might Love Myself, Doubt Me, and then Better Me.
Oh, so Might Love Myself was before. Okay. All right.
Yes, I do remember.
So Better than track-wise, this is actually tracking okay except for where Love Myself is. Sorry, so Better Me. Go ahead, because I know you have some thoughts about this song.
This song, okay, same thing when I listened to Riptide. Was not a gigantic fan of it from when I first heard it. And I, still now, after hearing it multiple times, still not the biggest fan of this track for multiple reasons. But to start at the beginning, I've heard of Hardy. I heard a couple songs by him prior to this whole thing. I think you and I had actually heard him for the first time together at that beer tasting party when we heard Radio Song with Jeremy McKinnon. And I was very impressed. I was very impressed with, the writing style, his vocal style, and
it stopped.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And I was like, okay, I'm interested to see where this guy goes. And then I had heard the song Jack, his song called Jack. And again, I was very impressed because it was that, so he had that southern feel to his voice with somewhat southern feel to the music. But then it kicks in with just some straightforward rock.
Yeah, he's an impressive dude. I didn't realize it until I started listening to some of his stuff. and found that he's just not only all over the genres, but good at it. So to have him come into Beartooth, number one, to have them have a feature, which they don't do,
Yeah.
was impressive. And when I first saw that it was Hardy on this song, I thought, well, this could be weird. And it's
I'm trying because I don't want to bash the song because it is a good song. Is it the greatest song? Absolutely not. However, it's still Beartooth at heart. You know, the riffs in it are very Beartoothy, but you can very much feel the vocal melody style of Hardy in these songs, or in this song, and I think that's what kind of draws me away from it.
That's fair.
It doesn't, to me, have the power and intensity of Caleb's vocal style or melody style. Well, like you were just talking about with his placement and everything.
Right.
It doesn't feel that way to me. It just kind of feels like, you know, like he mashed up with a country star and they wrote a song together. The music is Beartooth. However, I think the vocals, not in the way they're placed or anything like that, but the overall melody style kind of weakens the song. And here's a bold statement. I think this is the weakest song on the album. But again, it is a good song, but it's, to me, the weakest one on this album.
Well, the weakest on an album of good songs is pretty harsh in some ways, but in the overall scheme of things, it's not terrible when it comes to what it's up against.
Right. I will never say it's a bad song.
Right. Now, I happen to love this song, and we talked about this before, you and I. It was quickly, of the ones they released early, this became my favorite.
Okay.
This is also, I've come to decide, is probably the most pop leaning, the way it's composed, the way the choruses go. For all the little Beartooth timing and riffs and having Hardy on there, this is the song that I feel is most outside of normal Beartooth.
Absolutely.
This feels like a song that was written for the radio, even though I know he didn't do it for that reason.
Right.
He did it because he felt like writing a song like this, and I would bet if we ever get a behind the scenes on this, that this song was written and done, and he somehow ran into Hardy or someone got them together, and he said, hey, you want a feature on this? I have it written already. Because nothing about the parts Hardy's singing couldn't be sung by Caleb.
Yeah.
They don't sound like stuff that Hardy wrote.
Yeah.
They're stuff that he's singing the way he sings, which we've discussed before too. They sound incredibly similar vocally.
Oh my God, yeah.
Except for the little bit of country grit that Hardy has.
Yeah.
They sound a lot alike. So it was a good mesh. You know, some of the best collaborations for me like that, when you have guys feature that aren't normally either out of genre or from different bands, is when you have two guys that have completely different voices.
Yeah.
That work. But every once in a while you get something like this where they sound so similar that it works so well, and you kind of forget that that's not always the case. That's not how you do things with other singers.
Right.
You don't want a guy who sounds just like you. What's the point of that? So I think that worked really well, and I really enjoyed this. And it has a fun little video that goes with it, which, kudos to Beartooth for still doing videos. Barely anyone does full videos anymore.
And they did, what, 3?
4.
They did Riptide, Doubt Me.
They did Riptide, Doubt Me,
Better Me.
They did
I Was Alive.
I Was Alive, and they did release an official visualizer for Sunshine too.
I did see that.
So I mean, that wasn't just somebody putting something together. They did that.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a bonus to what they do with this stuff.
Yeah.
He definitely knows how to work media and have fun with it.
And
absolutely. This song, if you could boil it down, this song is fun.
Oh yeah.
Beartooth songs can be a lot of fun in certain aspects. That we rock out to them, or we're just jamming to them, or we're like, man, hell yeah, those vocals are awesome, that lyric's awesome. But this is just fun, and I think that's what comes through in that video too. two dudes screwing around on a golf course all day.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like something that you sometimes you got to do. So I personally love the song, and I think there's better songs in the album. But as far as the ones that they released early, this was my favorite. It grew on me. At first, I wasn't sure. I thought it was a little weird timing, and something about it just seemed not quite what I was expecting, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But once I heard it a few times, and I say a few, folks, I mean 30 or something in one day, because that's what I did with every new Beartooth song. But thank God they only released them one at a time for a while. I wouldn't have time to get caught up on them. But I really found myself enjoying that, and it's not a track I would skip by any means. So.
Oh no, I wouldn't skip the track at all. And I can agree with you. It is a fun song. Is it my favorite? No, but it is a fun Beartooth song.
Right.
That's kind of. I'll leave it at that. That's my final statement for.
And that's
Better Me.
That's fine. Which gets us to the next track, which is "Might Love Myself," which, for all intents and purposes, might as well have been the title track to this album.
You think?
Calling it the surface. This song is what he is trying to get up across.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll get to some of the later tracks that you almost feel like the completion of the story towards the end.
Yeah.
But this is the point he's been trying to get across all these years, as far as I feel. This is him telling you, I've gotten here. This is what I cleaned up my life and the things that were killing me, and this is what I want, and everything else is a product of where I am, and this is how I got here.
Okay.
Maybe not where he's ending up, but this is where he got here. And I think it's a beautiful message in this song. And the fact that you talked about earlier in the previous song about more the less aggressive vocals and more the harmonies and the way he's singing. That's this song. There's nothing except for a little bit in the breakdown.
Yeah, you get a little bit of
that
that
little
classic
Caleb, but otherwise this is a different him, and I'm here for it. I think he's got more range than anybody ever gave him credit for, which you and I knew that previous.
Yeah.
But he's showing that he can do almost different styles of singing, not just a range. We're not talking octave ranges here or anything. He's finding his way to in almost pop comes up a lot. I've seen some other reviews online about this, and honestly I haven't seen really anything negative. But a lot of stuff about it being it seems like he's trying to write a pop album.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case, but I think he definitely, and he may have even said that, I may have read that in an interview with him, that he was willing to try other genres of stuff to see throw it up against the wall and see what works kind of thing while he's working his stuff out. I'm here for it. Because as a guy who sings covers every week, I'm more than happy to listen to 20 different genres of music at one time.
Yeah.
If it works. And I think in this song it works. And this is another one that has some great lyrical stuff in it, like memorable lyrical stuff. And I just think that's what I'm here for Beartooth at the end of the day, is him doing his thing and it meaning something, and it does.
Yeah.
I find a connection to it, as do you. And this song, there's going to be plenty of people to connect to this. So that's how I feel about it.
When I saw the announcement, I think you had even sent it to me. Either you did or Craig did in our group chat, that there was going to be a video dropping along with a single, and they had the countdown going on YouTube and stuff like that. I stayed up till midnight to watch this video because I was like, this came out after Sunshine,
right?
And so I was ready. I was hyped because I was like, all right, new Beartooth song. I'm here for it. Let's go. And so I stayed up and I listened to this, and this may be surprising with my reaction to Riptide when I first heard it. When I first heard Might Love Myself, I fell in love with it because of the message and the style.
Right.
It's, for me, it was a total 180 from what I was really expecting, because we were just coming off of Sunshine. And when I heard this, I was like, holy shit, he's doing something totally different. And I loved the clean vocal style. I loved the message that the song, provides. And it still has that heavy aspect with the music.
Right.
Coming from a musician's side of things, where I listen to how he does his guitar tones and everything like that.
I wanted to bring it up too, because this song has that tone we've been chasing now for a while.
Yeah.
This song has such a good snippet of that you can just hear that when it goes into that little outro riff out of the choruses to get back in the verse. You can hear that guitar tone with no vocals over it, and it's just a little run. He's doing a little run there, and it's so clear and nice, and I just can't figure out what it is. But it's that's the thing. You get those Beartooth moments in every song, but this one being, I want to say so different. It's not so different. It's a Beartooth song. It's obviously a Beartooth song.
Yeah.
You can tell that if you know their music, but it is different than the other stuff they were doing. But there's all those things in there that make it his.
Yeah. The structure of it,
right.
The melody style, lyrically, all of it is a Beartooth song, but it's a different Beartooth song.
And that's what we were signing up for, I think, by sticking out the long haul here.
Yeah.
So, but it is by far not the number one track on this album.
No,
me.
I wouldn't put it up on the number one.
It could break down different ways, though. If you're breaking down about what the message of this song and what that can personally mean to some people, this song's a big deal.
Oh, absolutely.
But that doesn't mean that they can't do better, which the next track is better.
Oh, absolutely.
Sunshine is the next track on the album, and it is by far my favorite song.
That was such a good segue into the next song.
Thank you. I've been doing this for 6 whole episodes now. I think that Sunshine is so much what Beartooth can do. It's pristine. It has all the things that I love about what he does with the hooks and the writing. And then they do different stuff here. We've talked about this before, the choruses, how each chorus has a different feel. He starts with that acoustic chorus. The second chorus is just a flat out rock and roll Beartooth chorus.
Yeah.
The third chorus is the same chorus, except he starts the beginning with that sounds like he recorded in the bathroom reverb to give it that little, but it's still aggressive. And then it goes back. It just, no one who does that. I can't think of any other band I know that did that with their song.
Yeah.
I don't know any band that I've known, some people do a one chorus a little different but I don't,
something a little bit different.
I don't know anybody who did that kind of dynamic with just the choruses. Never mind just how fucking cool this song is. It just wants me to get up out of my chair and go, and which is dangerous when you're driving a car. I'm just saying. It's just so much about, like, that song's just moving forward all the time, and it just has just sweet riffs, and that tone comes through, and everything about it. I didn't know when I first heard it. When I first heard it, they did their premiere on Octane. I listened to it at work, and of course it's a small speaker. I can't really get the dynamics of the song, but it starts out, and then it was going to the acoustic part. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it got going. I'm like, it seems okay, but I got to listen to it in the car. So then I waited till I could stream it the next morning, and then I just kind of started to get it, and then I just played it over. It was just a nonstop Riptide and Sunshine, because it was the only two we had, over and over and over. And I wish every one of their songs felt like this one does to me. And not because the other songs don't feel good and I don't enjoy them. Yeah. I wish I could capture how this song made me feel when I first got into it, over and over and over with every song, because it's just amazing. It's just an amazing tune. And it's amazing for all the reasons that it's not mainstream or cookie cutter or even standard Beartooth.
Yeah. It's
everything they are, like, turned up to 11.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love it. And I cannot wait to see this song live.
Oh my God. When I first heard this song, I will take a shot. I will forever remember where I was, what I was doing when I first heard this. I was getting ready to go to work, but I had seen that the new song came out. Sat down at my computer with, I have studio monitors when I do my recordings. So I played it through that, and already, kicks in, and he's just going at a 10 vocally. And it's building up, and we come up to that first acoustic part. Oh my God, blue balls. I was like, oh, what acoustic? And then it kicks in, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah, it definitely, it was shocking in a great way.
And then that breakdown.
Oh.
When he says the end is coming, I can't keep running. The end is coming, and then it just drops.
Boom,
Oh
bam,
my
bam,
god!
bam.
I felt my balls
love
touch
it.
my knees. That they, like
They filled up so much.
it was just so heavy.
Yeah, it's just
So perfect. That song I would put towards the top of the best songs for this album.
I
Even
would
for
put that
best
up
songs
top.
of
Yes,
their songs all
of
together.
Beartooth. It is definitely top 5 Beartooth.
It was
Like,
so good.
It's just that good. We could have done a whole episode. It's a good
Just
thing
talking about this song.
It's a good thing we weren't doing this podcast as they were releasing these. We would have done 3-hour episodes on one song, and then we wouldn't have known to do it a day like this when we had 6 other songs to go over.
I know.
And which puts us at what's after Sunshine?
What's Killing You?
What's Killing You? Which, okay, so as I told you earlier, I jumped ahead, so not realizing I was skipping the title track.
Right.
This was the first of the new 6 songs
Okay.
that we hadn't heard. So I was like, all right, it's aggressive. It's exactly. I've said the word aggressive 700 times in an hour. It's exactly what I wanted. I was hoping we weren't going to get more poppy or sappy. I had my reservations about where the other stuff was going to go.
Uh-huh.
Not because I don't believe in what they're going to write. I was afraid we were going to get this softer Caleb.
Okay.
And this song proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like, no, we're not getting that in every track. We're not going to have that. And it, again, good riffs. Is it the most memorable Beartooth track ever? No, I certainly don't think it's one of the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great track. It's well written. It's exactly what they do right.
Yes.
I think it's kind of, there's some generic stuff in the riffs with this. I think their generic riffs are better than anything I'll ever put together. But I think it's not. There could be. I think that's what could have made this song a little more elevated.
Okay.
There could have been more distinct guitar work and not. It almost feels like simple Beartooth stuff in this song in parts.
I can see. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I don't hate that, but also there could have been more, or could they have done more? Sure, he could have, but it's that old adage of how many times you go back over a song and over until you have someone tell you it's done.
To be like, stop
it. You've layered your vocals 87 times. It's time to put that away. But so I mean, I really enjoy the track, but it's definitely, even if we were going to take these 11 songs and split them, top 6, bottom 5, whatever you want to do that,
right,
it would definitely be in the bottom 5.
Okay.
Only because I don't think it's adding anything new to the equation. It's adding something old and not as good as some of the old.
Okay.
Which still puts it on a high level for me. It's a high bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a high bar for what they do, but it's not breaking any ground.
Right.
And that sometimes can be terrible. You can get the songs that are terrible because they try to change stuff or do something different. This was them not doing enough of the same, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how you felt about it. Again, by no means skippable, but there's nothing new here.
So when I heard this, I'm trying to think of like my initial reaction, because my initial reaction to all these were, "This is fucking awesome." But
that's our knee-jerk reaction to everything.
I heard this and I was like, okay, this is very in your face. This is very again, aggressive. I feel like that's Pee Wee Herman, like key word of
aggressive.
The episode. But just talking about the hook in the song, this is one of my favorites on the album, and I think it is the simplicity towards it that helps with my feelings towards it, because it has that dare I say, it has a almost like 80s rock kind of feel to it, which my love for 80s rock.
Well, and that's not the first time they've had a feel like that in their songs, and it works too. So
yeah,
that's not their influences go all over the place sometimes. Not all over the place. That sounds scattered. I don't mean it that way, but they go across times and genres a lot. So
I heard that and I was like, shit, that's a catchy hook, and especially with the gang vocals in the back, just doing the woes.
The woes are back. Let's put that out.
The woes are back.
Yeah, he didn't forget his life of woes.
So good. And for me, that's one of my favorite tracks on this album. Bold statement.
No, not at all. I mean, I hope we weren't going to sit here and both regurgitate the same things about every song. Like, we both loved it. Move on. I mean, I'm glad we both have, because it's it's music, and we're both supposed to have a different opinion. We know that, so it's. I don't think it's a bold statement as much as a statement of what you like as opposed to what I like, which we could have two opinions that don't match anybody else out in the world
Right.
about this song. I mean,
Right. There's like I would put this song over a few of the singles that had come out.
I would agree with that statement. Yeah, I would have liked to hear I would have liked to have heard this song earlier, I think, and save some of the single stuff for the album release. You know, the stuff we heard maybe would have had even more of an impact if we didn't have time to sit on them.
Right.
So who knows?
But yeah, I absolutely loved that track from the get-go. That was not even it was like, I wasn't crazy over it at first. No, that was I was stunned by that when I first heard it because I was like, this is badass. And this is one I listen to every day.
I listen to the album every day. And there's a point I'm going to make at the end when we do a wrap up about this album and how quickly you can listen to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it was a damn good track, just not for me. And obviously for you it was completely opposite.
Yeah.
It was another Beartooth song, which I'm always happy to have.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, doesn't matter what our two opinions are on it. It was another Beartooth song.
Yeah.
So there we are. Now,
the
next track, Look the Other Way. What I assumed was going to be an acoustic all the way through song, and it is not. But I mean, for the most part, it might as well be.
Yeah.
There is some, distorted guitars that come in, some heavier stuff, some drums. But I will say this song has brought me to tears more than once listening to it. And
absolutely.
Even after I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I have connected with the way this song is put together, and especially the lyrics.
Oh my God.
More than any other song in this album. And it doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in. It puts me in a kind of a sad place in a good way, if that makes sense.
No, I get you, because I feel the exact same way.
It gets me deep in my feels, as it says.
It pulls on a string.
It pulls all, well, the one heartstring I have left, a cold dead heart. But I cannot say enough good about this when initially I thought I was going to make this in my listing of first time through. I was like, that was great. It didn't quite get me the first time as it did the second, but I was like, I think this might be one of the ones I'm just about in the album, and absolutely not. This became one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's some people have replayability problems with songs like this, because of an emotional impact or because it's not so upbeat. Sometimes people are like, well, I can't just keep listening to that. I'm not ever skipping this song.
Oh, never.
And it might make me cry every time. The chorus, I'm sorry, not the chorus, the outro lines, where he says something along the lines, I'm blanking, I should know it because I love it so much, but about when I don't love myself, she loves me anyway.
Yeah.
Or you love me anyway. I forget how it's phrased. If you can read the super tiny liner notes.
I was going to say, Jesus. Like,
that is, and he says it twice.
It's
those are the last lines of the song.
When I don't even love myself, you love me anyway.
He says that twice. That is, I would get that tattooed on me. That speaks volumes to people who internalize shit like I do.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you're just not a fan of yourself. Sometimes it's more than you want to let anybody know about.
Right.
Sometimes, and I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure it works for other people too, but, sometimes you don't need people to know what's going on. Yeah. And that's a lot coming from me because I'm a guy who'll tell anybody anything about anyone or myself or any time.
Right.
Like, I'll just talk your ear off about whatever today's problems are if you want to hear.
Right.
Or I'll listen to you talk. I have no problem laying it out there.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just don't need people to know my business.
Right.
And sometimes that even includes my wife.
Right.
Like, she doesn't need to know what I had going on at work. She doesn't need to hear my problems with this or that don't involve us.
Right.
Should I talk to her? Probably. And that's, I think, why that line hits so hard. There's always stuff you put away. And I connect with that with her because there are days I felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't love myself. I don't love what I've done or who I am today, but I can come home and I know she will.
Absolutely.
And that line alone is enough to make me get connected to something, much less get like emotional out of it. But there's so much, leading up to that in the song alone. Like it's an open book or an open love letter or whatever you want to call it, an open diary page of what he was going through. It's the only song I think in a long time where he talks about what came before. You know, he does a little bit later in other songs too, but like this is a snapshot, I think, of what was going on with him a few years ago when he was still drinking and he was still, going through it.
Yeah.
I think this is him trying. My interpretation of what's going on in this song is him trying to tell us what started to turn him around.
Right.
And not so much that we can't have read that in interviews or listened to him, on a YouTube interview. I think this is the first song he's talked about it in some kind of way. This is where I was, and this is why I need to get out.
Right.
And it sounds like a lot of that had to do with his wife, which is just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't. I could talk about this song all night. I could not let you get in a word edgewise at all about this because it's been a long time since a song made me feel like that. And it's also been a long time since a band put out something. I could probably count on one hand songs that make me feel something. For reasons I sometimes can't understand. One that always gets me every time, especially if I'm alone in the car, if 3 Libras by Perfect Circle comes on, I cry my eyes out.
Really?
It's one of those things. What he's saying, how he's singing it, and I don't connect with that anything like I did with this song.
Okay.
So that's just a litmus of there's just sometimes music gets you, and it's supposed to.
Oh yeah.
If music doesn't make you feel something, what's the point?
Right.
Please go ahead.
This song, I knew we were getting something with piano, which this was a while back on.
Right. Yeah.
It was either Caleb's personal Instagram or the Beartooth Instagram. There was a video posted where he had pointed out like, "Oh, we got a piano in here," and I think I had even sent it to you, and I was like, "Are we getting Beartooth piano?"
And I got to back it up. I did say acoustic song. I didn't mean it that way. Because it's piano. I meant unplugged or not hard rock.
Right.
So.
So I had already anticipated hearing I guess you want to say a lighter or a softer Beartooth song, including the acoustic guitar and piano. But I wasn't expecting to hear this. And I mean that in the best of ways, because very similar to you, what the song is about is something that, I connected to immediately, and that it's brought tears to my eyes. Didn't make them drop, but tears were brought to the eyes, and, heavy-hearted and everything.
Right. Oh, that's heavy-hearted's a good analogy for that or anecdote for that, but.
And I also loved that it's something so different from anything Beartooth has done.
The last time they did something of that downbeat is King of Anything. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is great because it's him just again laying his heart out, but it's not even in the same realm as this song.
Yeah.
Like
it just has something that people can connect to, which I always have had a high appreciation for, which I had tried to do in, my original material, where I wanted to write about things that people can connect to. So, which is, a huge appreciation towards Caleb, because he does what I want to do. Asshole. But
as our friend Jimmy said, fuck you, Caleb.
Yeah, fuck you for
being so good.
Yeah, for being just so good. But no, that the song as a whole, beautiful.
Right.
I don't think there's any other word that I can use to describe that song other than beautiful. Its composition, its lyrics, the meaning behind the lyrics is just a fucking beautiful song.
I think that's an almost perfect description that I could have used myself had I thought about it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
In every way, and
And those lyrics at the end that like you were talking about,
Yeah.
you can hear the emotion
That's
behind
that's
those
what
lyrics.
gets me. And Caleb's one that shows off his emotion in songs. You can hear it, like usually it's his aggression, his anger,
Yeah.
but you can hear that in his voice, and that I'm gonna cry dinner
Just talking
talking
the
about
song.
it, and I'm not even hearing the song. So I mean,
That
I mean,
right there.
if there's nothing more that can be said about that, it's that.
Yeah.
We're speaking about the song, and I'm getting an emotional response. So
Yeah.
you couldn't have wrote a better song for that. I mean, as different as this is from every other song on this album, it's almost perfect
Oh, absolutely.
for what it is. So it definitely is one of the greats as far as what he's written.
Yeah.
That brings us up to
Track number 9.
which is What Are You Waiting For? Okay. This song, I am going to say more than any of the other ones, if you took this song and took out all the guitars and the rock drums and you put a trap beat behind it or some sort of R&B hip hopish beat and put his vocals over top of it, except for the end where he does get a little aggressive, this song could be an R&B song, like a Jason Derulo song or something.
Jason Derulo.
It's the first one that came to my head. You know, and no one would know no one would have thought anything of it if they didn't know it was Beartooth.
Right.
He's singing, doing things in a certain way, and there's where the pop stuff and the trying new things. He's still hitting the Beartooth somewhere in the song, but it definitely, and by no means I mean I don't like it. I do.
Yeah.
I just think it could be something. It could have been something else or something completely different that maybe wouldn't have worked.
Okay.
But as it stands, I think it's a good track. But it's definitely. I'm not going to spend all day talking about this one. It's not one of those. It lives in Beartooth. It's in the album. It's probably my bottom 5.
Okay. So this song for me is another one that's up towards my top 6 because I love the composition of it. I love the hook. Again with the woes, because the woes are back in this song too. And
I will say when he does the little gang vocal, well, I mean it's just doubling, but it sounds gang vocal. Right at the end of the chorus, what are you waiting?
Yeah.
And it goes in that dun, dun, dun. I mean, that does have its Beartoothy. Beartoothy? It's toothy. It's very toothy.
It's very toothy.
That's a compliment in this album, not a hooker. Anyway.
But no, I love again the composition of this song because it is very much what I look for in a Beartooth song. It's got the aggression, it's got the catchy hook, but another thing that I love in this song is that we get a guitar solo in this song.
I shouldn't have glossed over that. That it's like the only one in the damn album, really.
I think we get a little bit of one in Better Me.
Well, yeah, but not
as much of a lead guitar
not a lead.
solo.
It's almost it fits right into their riffy breakdown stuff.
Yeah.
This is a true solo, and I don't remember the last time. I mean, was there any on Below weren't like the intro outro stuff on a song? I can't. I'm sure there was. Top of my head, I cannot think of what song it was.
If you're going back to Below, if you want to count the alternate version of Skin, there's one in that.
That is a great solo, but that's a different album.
But yeah, that's the last one I can really think of is the alternate version of Skin.
Well, they're not
having a solo.
They're not a solo band.
No.
They're not Five Flavor Fruit Punch where they have an intro solo, a middle solo, an outro solo, and then an encore solo all in every song.
Oh my god, I've never heard that Five Flavor Fruit Punch.
That's not what we're here for. Don't get my anger going. Let's go back to the songs.
Oh my, you just about killed me with that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can get that on a t-shirt. I'll show it to you sometime.
Oh man. But coming back to that song, that is again I put my top 6 of favorite songs off of this album because I love the composition, I love the aggressiveness of it, I love the riff, I love the solo, I love everything about this song. I love the gang vocals, the hook. It's just good.
I mean, it's Beartooth.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
for
Beartooth.
me. For me, it's just Beartooth, which again, high bar, and I'm always here for it, but it's not the one I run to. It could be on in the background. I could play the album through without skipping it. It's just not the one I'm going to jump to if I want to jump to a song on this album.
Okay.
So, I mean, again, there we are for different reasons, different strokes for different folks.
So, I guess moving on then. Or
I didn't have much to say to begin with.
Okay, then, we're coming in on the home stretch here. We got 2 more songs.
Right.
Moving on to My New Reality.
Another one, even more so than...
All right, DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Another one.
This is one, too, also that could easily work in a different genre. Probably, now I said it, probably more even than What Are You Waiting For? This could probably fit outside. This could be like a easy rock tune if they want it to be, or like it has that, he could, this could be a Hall & Oates song or something like Yacht Rock by Caleb. So it's great, and I love the message here. This is another one where he's putting out a message of positivity.
Yep.
Which, again, people that are into Beartooth, depends on your level. Our level, we're like deep in the lore and we're looking in everything. But people who just know their music and listen to it enough, nobody's looking for a positive message out of him.
Right.
As opposed to anything I feel that's positive in their old stuff is more of a rally.
Yeah.
A call to arms kind of thing than it is even let's say like
this in comparison to Beaten in Lips.
Yeah, I was gonna say Beaten in Lips is telling people to get out of a situation, but not like this. You know what I mean? Like this. Okay. That Beaten in Lips is him singing to a like-minded people that you went through this. Here's our thing. This is him saying, "This is where I am now, and you could do that." You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the way I feel about it. Mm-hmm. Like him telling it, and as I said earlier, he gets to it as the songs go. There's a distinct beginning, middle, and end to this album, which they never really did before. Yeah. The songs, there's places in these songs where they...
It's almost like a concept album, essentially.
In honesty, it is, because it does start at a certain place and it ends at a certain place. And this song is very much fitment. It has its fitment in the end. Yeah. And again, it's very positive and still very cool. Mm-hmm. I think it has, again, I could beat to death about how good his lyrics are and how good the choruses come together and the hooks. I mean, everything always works for him, even when it seems like it won't. Right. Maybe not on first. I was gonna say viewing. That's not right. First listen, because my feelings change on songs after a while. As our good friend Jimmy said on our last Beartooth centric stuff we did, his favorite albums of all times are ones that he didn't like at first, and then he went back and went, "Oh my god." Yeah. I don't think Beartooth's ever going to be I had to listen to it 18 times before I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I enjoyed this album more the second, third, and so on through, but I'd already heard half of the album before it came out. True. And I've never had that with an album before, so I'm getting ahead to that. Something I want to talk about later. But what did you think about this song?
So this song, I'm not entirely crazy over it. I do like it, but when I dove deep into the writing of this, I realized he didn't fully write this song, or he co-wrote it, I should say. Right. He co-wrote it,
which is a new thing.
I have the name here because I was gonna forget it. By Richard Scarborough.
It's probably Scarborough.
Scarborough.
Yeah. Speaking of pronunciation.
Yeah. So I had seen that, and I was curious to see what else this guy's done. So I went and went onto his Instagram. He had a link to Spotify that linked off to songs he had co-written or produced. And this is actually the most oddball thing he's done, meaning Beartooth, working with Beartooth, because a lot of it was a lot more hip-hop, rap.
Well, and he has it's listed differently in the liner, as no one can see because there's no video here, but I'm looking at the liner notes here for the actual physical CD, which old people like me still buy. And this actually says My New Reality, written by Caleb Shomo and Story.
I think that's like the name
that must be his stage
by.
name, Storii.
Because when I went online and went to the...
Well, no wonder he changed his last name to some stage name. Scarborough doesn't exactly scream entertainer.
Yeah, so I listened to a couple tracks by Story or this Richard person, and I can hear his style in this song, which I think is what, like, for me, I would put this in my bottom 5.
I believe it would probably be in my bottom 5 as well. It's not. It's definitely not the banger we were expecting.
Right. Again, not a horrible song.
No.
In any means. I do enjoy this song. It is a Beartooth song, but you can tell it's Beartooth co-written
plus
with
one.
Yeah, +1. Beartooth +1.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, as much as we love Below, the fact that we know it's all him and it's impressive that it's all him. Also, you get no. I mean, we have no inkling that I've ever seen that he lets any of the band members in on the process. You know, maybe he lets them in on, hey, I wrote this riff. You guys, I got this. But he doesn't get crazy into, maybe in this album was different. Some guys are super creative and they can't release the reins. I get it.
Right.
And I'm glad he did that on this album. I am. And he did collaboration and things of that nature. But also, to your point, you can hear when it's not just him.
Yeah.
So,
if I remember correctly, if I read this correctly, if not, somebody, let me know. The only thing I had seen that a band member had helped write was, hold on, I have it here. I saved these things
on the internet.
On the internet was Look the Other Way. From what I'm seeing is that Oshie helped him write that. Which
I would love to hear more of that, but they're obviously okay in that band doing what they're doing. So
yeah,
they're not going to listen to me.
So yeah,
I mean, it's a fine track. It's just it's definitely bottom tier of this album.
Right. Again, not a bad song, just bottom tier of the album.
Right.
I feel like I need to make that known, is that we're not bashing any of these songs. They are all fantastic songs.
So, lastly on this album, which was the single they released the day before the album dropped, which they do.
Yes.
I know our good buddy Craig stayed up till midnight to watch the video, and then felt slightly disappointed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I love this song.
Great song.
For every reason that it's not an average Beartooth song. And the chorus in this song is my favorite on the album.
Really?
As far as there's other lines and cool things written, we obviously we both love the line "In Doubt Me," and Sunshine has cool shit. And this chorus in this song is some of the most simplistic, powerful stuff I've heard in a while.
Okay.
It just works so well. Literally, when I was alive, or when I die, I know I didn't just live; I was alive. That's fucking genius.
That is,
and it's the simplest phrase.
It really is.
There's no. He wasn't searching for crazy $10 words, or he's just saying a thing, and it's, for me, it just really hits. Like, maybe it's something of being an entertainer or being a singer, or just you do things that you don't say it out loud. Most guys don't have the ego to say, I want to be remembered for this.
Right.
But you do.
Yeah.
You want to be remembered for something. At the end of my life, I'd like to be remembered as a good husband or father, family.
Right.
But I'd also like people to remember that I was a musician.
Yeah.
Now, I don't write things people can't go back and go, well, there's that song Bob wrote and that's his whole legacy.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, there he is covering Wagon Wheel again. But I think that's something any normal person, you don't have to be an entertainer. There's a feeling somewhere in all of us that you want to know you did something.
Right.
You were something. You were here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you know you were here, or people know you were here, is if they remember you.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to do that is if you know you did your best to get there. And I think for me, that's what those lyrics represent. This is Caleb saying, I did everything I know how to make sure my life was the fullest. And I can die knowing that, and hopefully everyone else does too.
Yeah.
And that, there's a message there that I didn't know I needed till I heard it. I don't know how else to say that. That really hit with me in a special way, that when I first heard the track, I was a little hesitant. I'm like, he's being a little closing out the album wishy-washy here.
Yeah.
But it fits in what I said earlier. this is the distinct end of this story on this album, and maybe the last 10 years of Beartooth.
Yeah.
Everything he's come up to, this is the song that ends that journey, and I want to see where he goes now.
Yeah.
He's closed this chapter. What's the next book?
Yeah.
So this song puts a cap on that for me. Like, I'm sure at some point there'll be a deluxe album that comes out, and there'll be unreleased tracks or some kind of, and that's fine. But this album could end on this song, and that's okay.
I can agree with that. I think this is a very good conclusion to the album. Not something I initially was anticipating, because I know that's not normally how Beartooth closes out albums.
Right.
Just referring back to Below, where we were given a heavy ass instrumental,
Sonically assaulted.
Yeah, we were sonically assaulted by the last riff, which to me, and I'm hit or miss with instrumentals. Being a Rush fan, I do enjoy them.
Don't bring that here. You get one. I said something about that other band I don't like, so we'll do one. That's it.
But I was in reality anticipating either another instrumental or just another aggressive song.
Right.
So this did throw me for a loop to hear this kind of song to close out the album, but like what you said, it's a great conclusion to the story that the entire album tells.
Yes.
Is it one of my favorites on the album? It's kind of that middle ground. Like,
it has some of my favorite parts.
Yes, it does. Like you said, the
chorus hook is amazing.
Yes.
Does it sell the whole song? In a certain aspect, but it doesn't put it higher on the list.
Right. For me, it's in my bottom 5. However, it's like top of the bottom 5.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on I Was Alive.
So, running back through it, let's we're going to do ourselves a rating system. We're going to go with 5 stars as being the best, 1 star, or 0 stars. I'm just going to go off track for track. Give me what your rating is and that we have. So, starting with the title track, The Surface, what would you give it?
4.
I would also give it, I actually would give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Riptide.
Riptide, that's going like a solid 4.5 to it, like just about out of 5.
Yeah, I'm 4.5 on that too. Doubt Me.
Doubt Me, 5.
I'm a 4 on that. The Better Me.
That's a 2.5 for me.
Wow, that's way below average.
Again, I do enjoy the song. It's just not my favorite.
Gotcha. See, for me, that song is a 4.
Okay.
Then we move on to Might Love Myself.
I'd put that at a 4.
See, I'm a 3.5 on that one.
Okay.
It's a great tune, but it's not my favorite Beartooth song.
Gotcha.
Sunshine,
that's a 5.
Yep, pure 5. If we could go higher, we could. It's our rating system. We could, but we're not.
Yeah.
That's a hard 5, like a rock solid.
That is a rock solid 5.
What's Killing You?
What's Killing You? I'd put that at a 4.5.
I'm a 4 on that. Look the Other Way.
5.
Yep, that's a 5. Absolutely a 5. What are you waiting for?
That's a 4.5 for me.
That runs about a 4 for me. It could be a little lower, but I think it deserves a 4. My New Reality.
My New Reality, I'd put that at like a 3.5.
I'm a 3 on that. It's just not the best on the album. It might actually, that tracks is my lowest rated one. Really.
Okay.
And then of course I Was Alive.
I'd put that at a 4.
That's a 4 for me as well too. So, if you were going to give this album a rating out of 5 stars overall as an album,
in comparison to the other albums, or just as a whole album?
As a whole, like if you were trying to tell somebody you never heard Beartooth before, well, here's what I think where this album stands out of 5 stars.
I'd give this one probably a solid 4.
I agree. This for Beartooth is a 4 out of 5, because I think as much as I love their old stuff, they don't have any 5 out of 5 albums for me except for Below.
Okay, I was wondering which one you were going to say.
Disease is a 4.5. It's almost perfect. There's just a couple songs that aren't perfect, but Below's the only one I believe is the most perfect thing they've written. This is a 4.
Okay.
This is definitely, The Surface is definitely a 4. Great album. worth buying if you're into Beartooth at all, or at least streaming or however you consume your music. I definitely give it a recommendation, which I hope nobody thought they were going to get the end of this podcast and hear Jake and I go, "This is terrible. Never listen to this band again."
Those words I don't think will ever.
I can't believe I said them on a recording. Now they're that's gonna
be a soundbite somewhere.
Yeah, someone's gonna get me with that one. But so definitely something people should check out.
Absolutely,
And like we're gonna do when they go on tour.
I can't wait.
Well,
I
that
was
being
so
said,
excited.
I think we're getting, pardon the pun, a little long in the tooth here.
A little bit.
So I think we said what we wanted to about The Surface. Great album. Go get it. Listen to it. Stream it wherever you can. We will be back soon for yet another episode, I'm sure. Our usual ranting about stuff. We perhaps get some more guests in here and do some more things. But if we haven't said it before to those that are listening, we do really appreciate this. As DJs say, we appreciate the spins. And as long as people are going to give us compliments and enjoy this, and as long as we enjoy telling you our thoughts and feelings about things.
Thank you to our 4 listeners. We could probably name them: Jimmy, Lauren, and the Camper Sisters.
Yes. I would say Alex, but she loves when people call her Lexi. She hates it. Yeah. Alex and Taylor are definitely 2 of our on either side of the state listeners. Philly area and Pittsburgh, Shippensburg, where she's at school. So, and my wife catches up every 3 episodes or so. She waits about 6 months to listen. Thanks, babe. As she would say to her now, I'm caught up. Yeah, she is. But we do appreciate everybody who thinks this is a good idea, because we do.
Yeah,
and,
this is fun.
We can record every week if we want to, but if no one's listening, I'm not going to spend the time editing it. Just saying. Just saying. So that being said, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
This has been Nailed It, the podcast, Beartooth, The Surface Review Edition. We'll see you guys on the other side. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Nailed it.
There it is.